Good morning from Maryland. This is Maryland Metal. I'm the CEO and founder, Moshe Landman. Today we are going to discuss the Federal Reserve System and then go over some unique coins, new and rare coins, gold and silver. The first thing I want to talk about is the Federal Reserve. A lot of people in this business are very confused about what's going on. The Federal Reserve has become the evil organization. If you read a lot of people in the precious metals business, they put all the blame on this organization as if they are trying to destroy the world. First of all, Federal Reserve is basically the central bank of the United States. Japan has a central bank. A lot of countries around the world have central banks Germany, for instance, that set monetary policy, help the overall economy. What we have is the Federal Reserve in 1913. It was organized by the biggest bankers at the time, J.P. Morgan, Paul Warburg. People know the Warburg families were connected to the Rothschilds. These were large banking families, but they were private, and they realized they needed a government process that would facilitate organized monetary and economic system. The problem with Congress was that because they're only appointed for 2 years, they're not really responsible and experts in the field of finance and banking, and we needed a separate organization that was both public and private. So the goals, as you can go to the Federal Reserve website, it's to conduct monetary policy to promote maximum employment, stable prices, and moderate long-term interest rates. Here are the current 6 governors. So there's a leadership under Jay Powell right now. They serve for 4-year terms. Then there are 12 banks, and they're located around the country. You can see this map. You've got it the Northeast, so there's 12 regional banks. There's one here in the DC area. There's one in Baltimore I've seen. And essentially, they meet and they set monetary policy, including interest rates. They also regulate the banks. They can be lender of last resort. They are separate from the printing of money that's done by the Treasury Department, but they can send money into the economy or out. They have ownership stakes by the banks themselves, so there's a mixture of public and private ownership, and they have some independence from Congress and the White House in terms of what monetary policy, what interest rates we're going to set at a high level for banks. So there's no reason to think that they're anything but trying to do good things for the economy. But the bottom line is they can only move small interest rates and pieces of the picture. You know, we've been gathering and spending so much in the United States over the last 50 years. As we saw in my last video, our debt levels are now $27 trillion, 84 in unfunded liabilities that we may owe in the future. And so there's really no way for the Federal Reserve at this point to catch up. The only thing at this point we can do is we have 2 options. We're so far in debt in America, we can continue to print money. So we can just pay off our debt by just printing more paper. All it is paper. So the dollars in your pocket now worth $10 will be worth 5, 4, 3. But we'll take that extra money and pay off the debt. So everybody will be paying for it. The other idea Stansberry Research talks about, it's in the Jewish tradition, is the Jubilee. We'll just forgive debts. And that would be the idea is at some point we'll say all of these debts to the governments are forgiven. But I don't believe in that option because, there are people now holding all of those bonds and debts will be wiped out, and that's just not fair. So at this point, we'll see what happens. It's going to be, he calls the end of America because we just have too much debt. Now, that being said, we're going to go back to precious metals, which are real money. They are not debt or paper money with no intrinsic value. We're going to go to 1830. We have here a 40 franc. This is a great coin. So it's France, 40 francs. And this one has the picture of Charles X, 90% pure, 12.9 grams, 0.3734 ounces of gold. That's a lot of gold. This is the reverse. I don't know if you can see that. The reverse has a crown and it has the year 1830 A. A is one of the mints in France. Great way to hold quite a bit of gold there. And then about uncirculated 50, it's pretty good condition too. So as you can see here on the NGC guide, not only is the value of gold basically already almost $700, but obviously at a rare level, the 1830s back then, there were only 354,000 minted. And they valued here somewhere between $775 and $2,500, depending on the sort of condition. There's not an exact value yet. We have it listed for $1,200 on our eBay store, and we are taking offers. I think it's a good value, and it's a great piece of European history. Next, I'm going to go to a bar. This is a real bullion, 10 ounces of silver in an American flag, 99.9% pure, as you can see on the back. Privately minted bar. So when we talk about bullion, I want to hold silver. This is a great way to hold silver. We can go to Maryland Metals website under the Knowledge Center, and we'll see here that silver is currently valued at the spot price of, one moment, there's a lot of data here that's coming down. So if you've been to the Knowledge Center, we've got charts on all sorts of figures and commodities. So it's currently hovering at $25. So just the melt value alone is $250, but it takes money. It's a lot of cost to mint the bar, and there weren't that many minted. We have it listed for $375, but you can make an offer. And I recommend holding real silver. Again, Federal Reserve cannot print more of these. They can't change anything to do with silver. There's a limited supply in the world. It's used for electronics, used for medical equipment, highly valued. And now you've got it what people need and want as real money. And you can take this to any place around the world, and you will be safe. Next, we're going to go to Australia, and we have a kookaburra. Kookaburra is a bird. They do a series on them. It's a very nice kind of shiny, almost proof or frosted mintage. And the reverse shows that it is from Australia with Queen Elizabeth, because she still is connected to the Australian, history and government. And we have it on our website. It's a little bit of a premium over the spot price, even though it's 1 ounce, $25. You're going to have to pay at least $30, maybe $35 or something like this. Now we go to Canada. Again, we have the Queen, because their influence is around the world when they had the British Empire, and they still respect her. This is it says $5 from 2011, but obviously it's just 1 ounce of silver. Again, we don't have to worry about the dollar denomination because of the silver content. That's all we're looking for here. It is a wolf, so they have a sort of wildlife series. I don't know if you can see that, the wolf here. It's a great piece of silver from Canada. They have a whole series of different animals. And again, there's a premium because it's a limited mintage, and you can find that on our eBay store as well. So we'll continue this series and have different discussions about the financial system, monetary policy, real precious metals, gold and silver that you can get from us. We also sell bullion. We have connected to Dylan Gage, other companies around the world like APMEX, where it's these, and even, we can't get to it directly from the U.S. Mint. There's only about 11 companies in the world that can order from the Mint. These are the big ones, but we can get right from them at wholesale prices and sell it to you. 1 ounce gold, silver, platinum, palladium, etc. We also go to the global mints around the world and can get you Chinese pandas, Australian, kangaroos, Austria. They have the great Philharmonics. Our number 301-284-0531. Have a wonderful day.